Hi, my name is Trever Freeman. I'm a senior at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, and my major is digital information mapping, and this is my internship presentation. So the company I worked for this summer was 1519 Land Surveying, LLC. They're a surveying company that does both surveying and also engineering. We do all sorts of work from construction and boundary, elevation certificates, to engineering stuff like construction, as-builts, topographic maps, etc. The company is named after the first year of recorded history of Texas, when the first Spanish conquistadors landed in the region. The company's been around for a little under 10 years or so now, so still a fairly new company, but the CEO actually bought an older company and rebranded it and renamed it to 1519 Surveying. So my job and my duties, so I was a I-man for the first 4 weeks or so of my internship. I worked with both GPS and total stations and doing boundary construction, topography, elevation certificates, oil and gas work also. So I got around a good little bit to trying different things out in the field. The coolest thing I did probably out in the field was getting to help use a RC boat that was connected to a Leica GS-4180 RTK GPS rover, and that was connected to an Omex echo sounder to get elevations off the bottom of a tank floor, 3 tank floors actually. The client wanted to know exactly how deep the tanks were, and they wanted to know what the bottom surface looked like, because they were getting ready to bulldoze the entire place and build lots and blocks and all sorts of different construction stuff. But using that RC boat was probably the coolest thing that I got to do as an instrument man. It was really cool to just see the technology, and it was new stuff too for the company. We had never really done anything like that with an RC boat before, so that was really cool to be a part of. But after about 4 weeks, I got moved up to the office as an AutoCAD technician. There for the first week or two, I started with local work, doing boundary surveys, elevation certificates, all sorts of stuff. It was a good experience getting to learn exactly how to deed sketch and draft and all sorts of new things, learning how the company wants things a certain way, new shortcuts that I'd never known before with AutoCAD. So it was a good first few weeks. Was extremely stressful. I was nervous the entire time. I was really scared of, I didn't want to mess up or anything. I wanted to look good, and I wanted to do good work for the company and not lose the company money. So that's all in the back of my head while I'm, trying to do my best and freaking out periodically here and there. But then after a week or two of doing local work, I got moved to oil and gas, and so there it comprised mostly of deed sketching and drafting. Had to do some record research. Some of the companies will provide their record research for you, and they'll provide you oil and gas leases, as well as the volume and page numbers of the exact parcels that they're leasing you. So there's some record research you'll have to do, but not too much. The coolest thing I've done so far with the oil and gas stuff was actually we got a job that I came into. The company had just accepted the job maybe a month or so before I got put on it, and the job is actually this company is wanting to there's having to pay mineral rights to an entire city. So the entire city is just one giant pad site, one giant location, and it was probably well over 150 to 200 deeds to have to sketch. So it was just months of work. It still is going to be months of work. We've never really done something this large before, in terms of having 200 deeds to sketch. It's really interesting to be part of also, just because, you know, it's new for me, but also it's giving me the ability to really get down deed sketching and reading records, and interpreting all that stuff. So it's a good experience. So after working on that particular project for maybe 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, we accepted a new unit project, and so now I'm the project manager of this new unit, and I'm going to oversee it from start to finish, which is really cool. And same thing, it mostly comprises of, you know, deed sketching and all sorts of stuff. I'll learn about pad site locations and giving them points for them to drill and all that stuff in the coming few weeks, whenever we wrap up the preliminary deed sketching process. But so far it's been interesting. I've had to learn multitasking a little bit, and communication, good communication between office guys, the field crew, as well as clients. There's some clients that are a little more nosy, if you will, than others. They want to know all sorts of stuff, and they'll call you as soon as your field crew arrives on the scene, and just letting you know all sorts of different things. And as an employee, you don't want to give out all of your clients' information. That's not really your job. That's the job of the client, to give away and do with that information that they want. Our job is just merely to survey. So I've had to deal with a little bit of that, but communication is definitely the key between field guys, us in the office, and also with landowners. So yeah, that new unit's pretty cool, and I'm excited that I'm getting to be a part of it, and this is really, I guess, my first real task, real project that I get to see from start to finish, so I'm excited for that. As far as my experience on the job and concepts that I've learned while I was at A&M, honestly, there aren't too many concepts that I've learned that I've applied. My particular degree, digital information mapping, is in a very interesting place. It's right in between a GIS major and I guess a land surveying major. So I have to take a little bit of everything. As far as me, my end goal is to get my SIT and get my RPLS, become a registered surveyor. And my experience at the university has been great, but there have been a few things that I feel were lacking that I wish were there. Primarily, just it felt a little too GIS intensive for me. There just weren't enough survey courses really to prepare me for my SIT or my RPLS immediately after graduation. At least that's how I felt. There needs to be some sort of, I feel there needs to be some sort of senior SIT prep course. That's a 4,000 level course that you can enroll in when you're ready to graduate. That will help you work through past tests and help you get down calculations and all sorts of stuff like that, so that you truly can be ready to take your SIT whenever you graduate. Because as for me, it's going to take me maybe a few months to study and to feel confident enough to take the test. That's personally how I feel. I feel there also needs to be, as far as surveying goes, there needs to be more of a focus on RTK GPS. From my technical degree that I got, my 2-year associates, there was primarily focus on total station, and that was just because the school didn't really have enough money to afford RTK GPS. But as far as, I mean, Texas A&M University should be able to afford RTK GPS, especially when it's the primary thing that field crew surveyors are using probably 90% of the time. that's my personal, thoughts. We did do static GPS, and we did do total station stuff and calculations for construction and other things, which is fine. But I feel there needs to be a little bit more real world field work, I suppose. Even for inside work, not necessarily outside in the field stuff. I feel that there needs to be a little bit more focus on the drafting side of things, the inside stuff, as an AutoCAD technician, and even an RPLS. This is the program you'll be using probably for the rest of your career. You're always going to be drafting and deed sketching and using the computer, so I feel there needs to be just a little more influence from that program. It needs to be a little more strenuous, I feel. And along with drafting, deed sketching, there needs to be a better job of teaching the students how to deed sketch multiple different deeds, how to read deeds, and also, going along with that also is record research and legal description writing. I figured record research out a little bit by myself and from some coworkers that helped me out, but primarily there just wasn't much of that there. I wish there was. And legal description writing, I learned, is very tedious, especially if it's your first time writing one on the job and you've never done it before. Kind of puts a little pressure on you. That's right at the end of the project. The project needs to be done. All it needs to be written is the deed description and or the legal description, excuse me, and it just takes time. And that'll be different for everyone, I suppose. Everyone's going to have a different background and different experiences, but I just feel that these are things that should be expected, especially whenever you say that your students are ready to graduate and take their SIT and RPLS. Again, that's just my opinion, but my overall experience at the university has been great. All of the teachers have been great. Everyone's super helpful, but at least particularly for me, for surveying, this is one of two universities that I'm aware of that are in Texas that you can graduate and qualify you to take your RPLS, and I just feel that there should be a little more care and a little more meaning and just more preparation behind that, especially for the students who are wanting to do surveying. I know that it is a GIS heavy school, and that's what they pride themselves on, which I get, and I'm proud to be from Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, 100%. I made great friends there. Again, all of my teachers were super helpful. I just wish that there was a little more care into the surveying side, and yeah, that's about it. But yeah, overall, I've had good experiences. I'm excited to graduate finally. I'll be graduating on Saturday, August 10th. Yeah, August 10th. I'm excited. Hopefully soon this fall I'll be taking my SIT, or maybe in the spring I'll be taking my SIT. I plan to stay with 1519 Surveying for the foreseeable future. I'm proud of the company. Everyone up there are fantastic people. The company is no nonsense, and they get the job done and they do it correctly. They don't try to take the easy way out. Everyone's been super helpful, and I'm thankful for the internship. 100% I am. I just wish that there were a few other academic things and classes to prepare you for the real world. But again, that's what the purpose of the internship is, to give you a little nibble at what the real world is, and to let you kind of get a taste of what to expect when you graduate. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and everyone have a good day.